So couple of things related to the networking we have seen in the yesterday's class. Okay. So better today we'll be starting with our new topic, and that topic is going to be the monitoring. Okay. So no matter what we do in the AWS, better if we are not going to monitor it correctly, so that may lead to the disaster. So for example, let's suppose you are working in a company and you deployed any of the project on the AWS. At 2 a.m. at midnight, your boss is going to call you, and the moment you deployed it, it was working fine. So suppose at midnight, your boss is going to call you and say that, okay, whatever the work you have done, it is not working. Okay, so in that case, what you're going to do? The very first thing you need to go and check the log files, and you need to monitor what thing went wrong. So in that perspective, whenever you'll work on the AWS, the very important thing is monitoring. You need to monitor any of the processings or any of the things that you're going to execute on the cloud. You should be able to monitor. Okay, so monitoring is one of the very important aspect in AWS. So today we'll be starting with our monitoring. Okay, so let me share the screen. Share the screen once. Is my screen visible? Yes. Okay, just let me. Okay, now this is okay. So, better let's start discussing our the next topic, that is AWS monitoring, audit, and the performance. So we are going to discuss few things in our today's session. That is going to be the Cloud Watch, the Cloud Trail, and the AWS config. So these are the couple of things that we'll be having a discussion in our today's class. And beta, by the way, as per the training, so today is the 1st July and today is our last day of training. But since we had 1 or 2 holidays in between, so I am trying to keep one more session so that we can cover up little bit more. Okay, so tomorrow again we'll be having a class. In case you want to attend that class, the timings will remain same from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, so the link with which you join every day, so that link will not work because I had created it up to today for 1st July. So for tomorrow's session, I'll be creating a new link and I'll post it into the WhatsApp. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be coming to the end of this training session, so that we can compensate for whatever holiday we had already. So we'll compensate that. Okay, so let's move and let's discuss our AWS monitoring and the performance. So beta, in AWS monitoring and the performance, the first thing that we need to discuss is the CloudWatch. So CloudWatch is something which keeps an eye on whatever activities we are going to do within the AWS, be it a EC2 instance, be it the load balancer, or be it a S3 buckets, or whatever we have discussed up to now. So it gets an eye on everything so that we can monitor it properly. So CloudWatch provides a metrics for every service in the AWS. So metrics we have already studied. Metrics क्या क्या हो सकती हैं, based upon which we can monitor it. Like CPU utilization can be one of the metrics. So whenever we have discussed the load balancer, elastic load balancer or application load balancer, we discuss the matrices in very detail in that particular lecture. That on the basis of metrics we can define that at what point I want to trigger the creation of the new EC2 instance. So we had discussed 4 or 5 metrics like CPU utilization, the number of users per instance, or any other, the utilization of RAM can be there. So likewise, there can be different matrices based upon which you want to trigger any of the event. Okay, so matrix is a variable to monitor. Metric is what? This is one of the variable which can monitor either CPU utilization or the networking bandwidth. Likewise, we can have the lot of another the matrices which can monitor and which can give us the result. Now this matrices belong to the namespace. Now what is this namespace? Namespace is something that gives us an indication for what particular service this matrix is being deployed. Okay, so we'll see that in a practical. So we'll have the dimension is an attribute of an metric. So dimension means for given this metric. Now suppose I'll take this example of CPU utilization. CPU utilization is what? My metric. Now within this metric I can have the lot of dimensions. यानी कि ये जो CPU utilization है, this can have a dimensions in it. Dimensions like there can be the instance ID, there can be environmental variable, there can be the time of creation, there can be the spike in the CPU utilization, there can be a lot of other dimensions which can depict the CPU utilization. That means all the parameters which are directly linked to CPU utilization can be the dimensions of CPU utilization. Okay, so that means whatever matrices you're going to have, for every matrix you can have some particular dimensions which are going to depict, or dimensions is an attribute of a metric, so which can depict the behavior of a particular metric. Okay, then we'll have up to 10 dimensions per metric is there. So you can add up to 10 dimensions per matrix. So CPU utilization can have dimension 1, dimension 2, dimension 3. Likewise, you can have 10 dimensions, up to 10 dimensions you can have per metric. So metrics have the timestamps. Of course, this is very, very important. Timestamps means which is going to record at what particular time the execution of any of the event has happened. Okay. And the last one is can create a CloudWatch dashboards for metrics. So I'll show you how we can create the CloudWatch dashboards. So when we're talking for the CloudWatch dashboards, but we need to understand there are few by default created dashboards which are being provided by the AWS. Okay, तो कुछ एक default dashboards हैं. I'll show you that dashboards as well, and we'll try to create our own custom dashboard as well. Okay, so let's see few other basic details before we jump on to our the execution part. So the next one is EC2 detailed monitoring. Okay, so in EC2 detailed monitoring, beta, you can understand that EC2 instances metrics have metrics every 5 minutes. So default time, that means whatever activities you have in the EC2, default time is every 5 minutes you will be, the logs will be generated. So that means if now is 16:19, so time is 6, let's suppose it is 6:20. तो 6:20 हुए, it's 16:20. So the next request or the next updation will be done on 16:25. The next updation will be done on 16:30. So after an interval of every 5 minutes, so EC2 instant matrix will be updated. So default time it is mentioned every 5 minutes. Of course, you can either reduce it or you can increase it. You can make it 5 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, or you can increase it to 10 minutes, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. So you can have like this, you can increase or decrease the times at which this instances should be updated. So with detailed monitoring, for a cost, you get data every 1 minute. Likewise, let's suppose you want to forecast the cost, that how much cost is required for every particular instance. So for that purpose, so you can reduce the instance which is giving you the input after every 5 minutes, you can reduce it to every 1 minute, because I want to check it कि हर minute में, at every minute, how my EC2 instance is going to use the resources, because I want to have this cost forecasting. Okay, we can use a detailed monitoring if you want to scale faster for your ASG auto scaling group के लिए. You can further have a very detailed monitoring. I'll show you the all interface जहाँ से you can view this and you can make a changes to this existing model as per your requirement. The next point is the AWS free tier allows us to have a 10 detailed monitoring matrix. So the limit is, upper limit is mentioned that at max we can have a 10 detailed monitoring matrix for any free tier account. Now you need to understand that EC2 memory usage is by default not pushed, must be pushed from inside the instance as a custom metric. So that means it is written EC2 memory usage, how much memory each of my instance is consuming. This is not a default one that is going to be pushed to this cloud log. So for that you need to have a custom metric. So आज हम कस्टम मैट्रिक भी एक डिफाइन करने की कोशिश करेंगे. We'll try to define the custom metric, and for that we need to simply run a command. Interface पे we are going to run a command and we'll be able to create a custom metric also. Okay, so we'll do that. So let's directly move and see the interface first. So let me open the management console. So side by side we'll see whatever we are going to discuss. Okay, so we are going to start with our interface. So the very first thing will be going to the CloudWatch, but either you can go with the CloudWatch here, or you have the here we have already searched the CloudWatch. So I'm going to click on CloudWatch here. So let's move to the CloudWatch and we'll get to the interface of the CloudWatch. Okay, so this is what let me first of all change the region. We have been in North Virginia. Let's move to Asia Pacific Mumbai. So this is my region. Okay, so this is the home screen that you can view from here, and you'll have the create an alarms option there, create a default dashboard is there. You can view the logs and you can view the any of the events that are being triggered. And under this you can filter by the resource scope. Few are the filtration options you will get it. I'll show you. Then you have the custom for the data. For every 3 hours data you want to see, 1 hour data, 12 or 1 week, or you can customize it after 180 minutes data that you want to have. So minute, hour, days and weeks are given. So how much data for what particular duration you want to view the data. Okay, so first of all I'm going to go to the metrics, and let's go to the all metrics. And under this all metrics, so under this all metrics, you will see there are few matrices that are already available, that are already linked with the CloudWatch. But the applications like application Elastic Load Balancer, EBS storage, EC2 instance, ECS, AWS, log, SQS, Q service, RDS, S3 buckets, and then this Lambda function, Firehouse, Elastic Cache. So these are already matrices that are going to be linked with it. Moreover, you can view not only from the one particular region, it can be viewed from the any other region. So if I have the matrices that are present, let's suppose in North Virginia, if it is present, the US East one. So if I'll click on this, so you'll have CloudFront, DynamoDB, EBS, logs, and users you can view from any of the regions. So that's a very powerful tool. So okay, search for any given matrix, you can search as well. So let's discuss any of the matrix. If I'll open the any of the matrix and I can explain you the further points. Let's suppose I move to the EC2. Okay, so let's suppose I move to the EC2. Now you will understand in this we have the further in EC2 instance, we have some predefined instances. Pre-instance matrix are cleared, and we have auto scaling. And if I'll click on this pre-installed matrix, you'll find that these are the instances that are already attached with the CloudWatch. Okay, so these are the instances: CPU credit usage, metadata token, okay, network packet in. So all these metrics are already connected. You can click on any metrics, or you can basically search as well. So if I'll search create, and if I click on enter, so you'll okay, let's try to search. let's try to credit. You will find. So if I do credit, so any of the instance that are linked with the credit, so you'll be displayed. So there will be lot of the instances and you can just view it. So CPU credit user, CPU credit balance, surplus credit balance, credit user, credit balance. So all the instances that have the word credit into it are going to be displayed. Okay. So that is there. So you can click on any of the instance. So let's suppose I click on the credit balance. If I'll click on this particular instance, and you can view the activities that happen to this particular instance. So if I'll move like this, and of course we are not able to see any activity now, but let's suppose I'll move to the custom, and let's suppose instead of 180, I'll write it 1, and instead of minute, I write it 1 month. Okay, let's apply this. So you'll see when I'll make some changes, so you can view the activity that has being happened here, and so we have the data here. So as the cool thing, CloudWatch matrix, you will understand that it with the help of just click, you can view the changes. So if I'll select this, but the moment you keep on selecting this, I'll select go here, and if I'm going to select this, see, the moment selected, the duration is going to be here. Now, the thing that I was telling you, that for EC2 instant matrix, you have the matrix every 5 minutes. So by default, so you can observe this. I don't know which matrix this is in North Virginia, which instance it is. I have randomly opened beta this CPU credit balance just to show you how the this is going to work. So you'll observe first point is 1355. The next point you can see is 1400, that means 2 o'clock. Then is the next point is 1405, that means 2:05 p.m. Then is 2:10 p.m. then 2:15 p.m. So after every 5 minutes you can see the activity. Okay, so this is the point I was explaining you. So the next thing we have discussed is, so or we can simply view, we can click on this one. Just give me a second. You can click on the custom, or even not like this. So if you want to see line stacked area, so if I click on the stacked area, you'll get a something like this. So different view options. If you want to see the number, so number is given CPU credit balance, or if you want to see the bar graph, so you'll see the bar graph. It's not available, so you can see the pie charts. So based upon the different view options, you can see this. Okay, so the different options you can explore it. And then the next option that we can see here is the actions. So the along with this, you'll see the another option, actions. And actions is very important support. You in the CloudWatch, you have the logs. You want to download it and you want to send it to your boss, or if you want to export it. Okay, so then you need to move to the actions, and here you will find an option for the download as a CSV option, or you want to share it with someone, or you want to add it to your own dashboard. So this is the options that are already provided to me by the AWS. I have not created my own customized dashboard, but if you have created it, so you can add it to your own dashboard. So we'll try to create our own custom dashboards in a while. Okay, so these are the next few options that you can explore. Okay, you can simply view logs as well. You can click on this view logs, and you can view the logs as well. Okay, so the next point is so this we have already discussed, that this is corresponding to the North Virginia. Let me remove this, and you can visit any of other matrices present on any of the another availability zones. Okay. The next thing, okay, let's discuss few other custom metrics before we can actually create our custom matrix. Okay, so let's try to discuss the custom matrix first. So okay, so let's try to discuss the custom metrics. So, but in the custom metrics, you have the possibility to define and send own custom metrics to the CloudWatch. So if I want, if as per my business requirement, I want to create my own metrics that I don't want to measure the CPU utilization, but I want to measure the number of hits on my website or the number of people, give me a second, or the number of people visiting my website in one day, or the number of people clicked on the link I provided in 1 hour. So you can have the another different matrices as per your requirement. So if you want to create the your own custom matrix, how you can do. So you can, there is a possibility, the first point says that there's a possibility to define and send your own custom matrix. I'll show you how. Then the second is example memory, RAM usage, disk space, number of logged in users, so that you can view. You can use the API called put metric data. So I'll see in the practical how I can use this API called put metric data and to put the metrics in the custom watch. Okay, I'll be using put metric data to put the data in the cloud watch, which is customized as per my requirement. The next one is availability to use the dimensions or the attributes to the segment matrix. Like I can use the instance ID, I can use the environment name. So all these things I can use. The next one is metrics resolution, storage resolution. If you partner two possible values, either I can have the standard 1 minute for 60 seconds, or you can create it for the high resolution for 1 second, 5 second, 10 second, 30 seconds at a higher cost, of course. So this is going to cost you more if you are going to use the high resolution. The next one is it can accept the data points 2 weeks in the past and 2 hours in the future. So suppose there is a graph going on, the instance is already live, and you want to, in between while that instance is executing, you want to add few of the metrics. So better in currently ongoing instance, you can still add the matrix, but you can have it in the past as well. So if it is data points 2 week in the past, so if whatever has happened 2 week in the past, you can view that as well. And what you want to behave in the 2 hours in the future, so that is the just an analogy. Based upon this, you can set the limits upon the data points, that on what particular data points you want to collect the data. Okay, so but this is possible only if you have a configure or EC2 instances time correctly. So because this metric data will be mapped with the timestamp. So if you have mapped the EC2 instance timestamp correctly, then only it will be working in a synchronous way along with the metric data. Okay, so that is important. So let's move and see the next one. Okay, so I'm going to view to my console, management console, and let's try to create our own custom metrics. Okay, so the very first thing I need to do is I'll be moving on to the Google, because for the custom matrix I need to run the command. So I'm going to Google, let's suppose okay, put metric data. Okay, so this is the thing I'm going to Google. So put metric data add AWS CLI. So command reference ये मेरे को चाहिए. So I'm going to click on this one and let's open this cloud metric data. So this is required if you have seen here. So we need to have the cloud metric data. Okay, so put metric data के लिए we need to have the command. So I'm going to just Google it. So under put metric data, you will have this interface, and you will find the synopsis, what all things are going to be included. So metric name value should be there. Timestamp, as I've told you, very, very important point is timestamp needs to be synchronized. How much unit, what is the value of that unit, dimensions का क्या value होगा, statistical value, CLI input, which needs to be in a JSON document. Okay, so all these are the things that needs to be included. So you'll have some of the values, you'll find the JSON document somewhere here, storage syntax, you'll find the JSON document. Either better you can pick up this JSON document and you can execute, but you have the shorter version as well. So this is a JSON document, metric name new post, timestamp is Wednesday, June, this one, and the value is 0.50, unit is count. So you can pick up this, okay, and which will be written in the form of metric data file slash metric dot JSON document is written, which is this one. Or you can simply to specify the multiple dimensions. Suppose I don't want to specify multiple dimensions. I want to specify, sorry, multiple dimensions. So I want to have each dimension specify the name should be equal to value pair, multiple dimensions separated by the comma. So let's see in which how many values are there. So namespace inside the namespace I've given my namespace. That's the name with which I'm going to create the custom matrix. Value is given. Then inside the dimensions, try to look dimensions kitni hogi beta. One dimension will be the instance ID. Second dimensions will be the instance type. So there are two dimensions that I'm going to create within this. So I'll pick up this one. So I'll pick up this command. So let's copy this entire and I'll be executing this. So let's control C copy and let's move. Let's move on to the CloudWatch. And under this CloudWatch, I'm going to open to the this Cloud Shell. Okay, so this is Cloud Shell symbol. I hope in the very beginning, either in the first lecture or second lecture, I've told you this is just like the command prompt or the terminal. So, but this is provided within the cloud. So I'll just open this Cloud Shell. Oops. Unable to start the environment, to try to refresh the browser or restart by selecting actions restart. AWS CloudWatch not working here in this zone. Let me refresh the page. Okay, let's try to sign out. Creating some issues. Sign in back. We're going to have so this is CloudWatch. Not working. It should be globally available, I think. CloudWatch is not trying. Okay, so we'll execute in a while. I need to figure it out what the issue is. But what we can actually do is we can run the command in AWS Cloud Shell in order to create the custom matrix. I'll figure it out in a while, and let's try to move the Cloud Watch. Not this. So this is temporarily, I think, down. We are not able to move this. Chalo, we'll see this in a while. Okay, so let's continue with this one. So the moment beta we click on the new alarms in the matrix, you will see we can have the like here you will find the matrices. These are the existing one. So logs, RDS, S3, SNS, SQS. These are the default one that are being provided, but we can create our own custom one. Okay, so that we'll see. That we see in a while. Okay, so we'll see that in a while. So it can be created with the my namespace. So the command which basically we have copied. So we have copied a command from here using this AWS CloudWatch. Put metric data, metric name, buffer, namespace, and with what the custom cloud matrix should be created. It should be my namespace, and the dimension should be instance ID 1 and instance type m1 dot small. Okay, so this is how it needs to be created. We'll do it, but as of now it is not working. So we'll move on to the next one. That is the next one, the dashboards. Okay, so I'll explain you the CloudWatch dashboards first. So let's discuss it once, the CloudWatch dashboards. बेटा मैट्रिक्स अभी कुछ देर में हम लोग एग्जीक्यूट करेंगे. So before that, let's try to understand the CloudWatch dashboards. So it's written the great way to set up custom dashboards for the quick access to key metrics and alarms. Okay, great way to set up the custom dashboards. Custom dashboard means like you have, if you have the Android phones, you might have seen you have lot of widgets that are being provided to you. So from lot of widgets that are being provided, you can choose few of the widgets that you want to display onto your home screen for the better understanding. Okay, so in the same way you can have the custom dashboards for the quick access to key metrics and the alarm. So if you want to, suppose you log in and you want to view if there are multiple matrices, multiple alarms are there, because you want to see only few of them, and you can create a custom dashboards and you can pin it onto the dashboard, so that every time you log in you will be able to see those dashboards. Okay, so these dashboards are global. So that means, as we have seen, that one dashboard, suppose one of the service you want to say, this is the imagine this is the dashboard. Okay, so here one of the services from US is North Virginia. And the second dashboard service is available in the California, and the third service is available in the Oregon. Okay, so likewise, this is a global one, so you can have the services can be available from the multiple availability zones. Okay, so dashboards can include graphs from different AWS accounts and regions. They can have the graphs can be there. It can have the values or any such thing. You can include it. Okay, we'll see this. You can change the time zone and the time range of the dashboard. That's the provision is provided. You can set up automatic refresh rate. After 10 seconds you want to refresh, after 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5, 15. So you can choose that. Dashboards can be shared with people who don't have the AWS account. I'll show you how we can share it with the people those even don't have the AWS accounts. Let's suppose you have a boss who is not basically assessing AWS services, but you want to set up the dashboard. You want to send few of the details to him. How we can do this? So public email addresses can be there. Third party SSO provider through the Amazon Cognito. You can have the third party emails providers. And the pricing is 3 dashboards up to 50 metrics are for free. So you can set up to 3 dashboards, custom dashboards, and up to 50 metrics that you can include into it. It will be free of cost. And for $3 for the dashboard per month, afterwards will be charged if you are going to exceed the given the limits. Okay, so this is very important concept if in case you want to view the services on the go. Okay, so let's move and see. So I'll go to this, and the very first option you will see here is the dashboards. Okay. So this is the option. You can either create a dashboard or the automatic dashboards that are being provided by the AWS. You can view this. Click on this, and these are few of the ones that are being provided. Dashboard for Elastic Load Balancer, dashboard for the CloudWatch logs, dashboard for all these are the widgets that are present. You can click on this, you can view it onto the different dashboard. Okay, so if I'll create on, let's suppose any of the dashboard. Let's suppose if I click on the application load balancer. Okay, so you'll find this request count, code ELB, active connection count, and the CPU's areas. So these are the dashboards that are being available to you. Okay, so these are going to the pre-configured one. So you need not to do anything. You can filter by the resource group. What type of resource you want to have. Okay, for this service it is not available. So let's try to have another one. No resource scope. The resource group should be available. चलो CloudWatch logs देख लेते हैं. Okay, so resource scope is not available in any of them. So otherwise you can have like let's suppose you have for the auto scaling group ASG. Okay, so you can view the resources as well. There are no resources group, so you can filter out based upon the resources. Resources can be, suppose you want to filter out based upon the average, or you want to filter out based upon the right operations that are being carried out. Okay, so you can create the multiple group, and based upon that you can filter out. So that is the another point. And let's move on to the dashboard. Let's try to create our own custom dashboard. So let's try to create the create dashboard, and let's try to write the name of the dashboard as the demo dashboard. Try to create the demo dashboard. Okay. Now in this demo dashboard, better the first thing that is being provided is the widgets. So in what type I want to have the widgets to be showed, either Explorer or line or the stacked area, number, gauge bar, pie chart, custom widgets, or you want to have the text widgets, log tables in the form of tables you want to see, or you want to see the alarm status. So you can choose any one from the this one. Okay, so let's try to have any one of this. Let's try to have. I'll click on the number. Okay, so you'll have this one. So we don't have any of this as of now. So these are the matrices that are already existing one. So we don't have any custom one. Okay. So if I'll have the matrix data, and I can have for the EC2, okay, auto scaling group, or any of those you can choose status check field instance. You can create a widget, you can create on this, and the CloudWatch demo dashboard is being created. And of course we do not have any of the values here right now, because might be the one, instead of, let's try to have it in single month. Let's try to have if we can see any activity. So, EC2 status check field instance. So average count, auto 1 hour, AP South 1. So these are the value, or you can have the uh, actions save dashboard, as you can rename the dashboard. Okay, you can edit it, and you can add one more widget. Okay, let's try to have the uh, pi one. Okay, metrics or the logs. Let's try to have the metrics, and for the metrics let's try to have the application load balancer. And for this, let's try to have the target group. So request target group, click on this. I'm just randomly whatever data is present, I'm going to click on this, and it is being present custom 1 month. Okay, so you can remove this, delete, add another one, bar, logs, demo dashboard. Okay, add budget, let it be the stacked area, metrics, create a widget. Okay, so we have couple of widgets in my demo dashboard. Once you have any of the values in this custom dashboard, you need to simply click on the save dashboard. Okay, so save dashboard, the moment you click on the save dashboard, now this is not going anywhere. Every time you're going to log in to the dashboards, you'll find the dashboard, you'll have the demo dashboard, and inside this demo dashboard you'll always see these two, the widgets that I have created right now. Okay, so this is how you can create the custom dashboards. And you can obviously have this. You can view, increase and decrease the view, and you can view. So very easy one. So mm, add widget. Let's try to have the gauge, and let's try to, now I'm going to change the region. I don't want to have it from the Mumbai. Another one, I want to take it from the Frankfurt. Okay, so from the Frankfurt, this is the usage, AWS resource, and call count for the lambda function. Let's take it and the create a widget. Okay, let's not take this. Instead of Mumbai, choose any other region. Let Seoul and usage. So you'll see first two widgets are from the Mumbai region. This one is from the Seoul region. This is from the different region. Okay. Cross account region AP South Northeast one. Okay, view account dashboard. So this is from the different region. So that's the all power of the CloudWatch from multiple widgets, from the multiple different availability zone, multiple different accounts basically, not from the single account. So from multiple accounts you can pin it and you can view it. So I'll click on the save dashboard. So all three widgets are saved there. Okay. So this is the basics for the dashboards. So let's try to move on to the next one. Let's try to understand the CloudWatch logs. Okay. Now, but this CloudWatch logs log groups arbitrary name usually representing an application. So we can have any of the name which can represent the application log stream. This can be the instances within the application or the log files or the containers. If you remember better, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, I have shown you already log files. Okay. So log files I've already shown you, but see, we'll see it once again. Can define a log expiration policy, that after how much time you want to have the logs expired. So it can have from never expired to the minimum 30 days you need to keep it. So CloudWatch logs are generated. कौन सी ऐसी services हैं that can generate the CloudWatch logs? But S3 buckets can generate Kinesis data streams, which is next to real-time data storing, data firehouse, AWS Lambda function, Elastic search operations. So all these services are going to generate the cloud logs automatically. And from what sources it is going to be generated? For the SDK software development, log agents can generate the cloud logs and unified agent. Okay, CloudWatch. This is, by the way, CloudWatch unified agent is a deprecated, and we generally do not use it now in real time. We prefer using the CloudWatch log agent. So unified agent is not being used anymore. So Elastic Beanstalk can generate the CloudWatch logs, collection of logs from the different application. ECS collection from the containers you can have. Lambda function collection of function logs. VPC can contain the flow logs, VPC specified log, different types of log, ABI gateway logs, cloud tray logs, route 53, DNS server log files can be there. So different type of log files are being there that these of the applications are generating. Okay. So let's try to view the next one. So CloudWatch logs metric filter insights. So let's try to understand this. So metric filter insight means you can filter the common queries inside this most 25 most recent log watch event, number of exceptions log watch, list of logs events that are not exceptions. So you can customize the logs appearances, that different type of logs that you want to view onto the home page. You can customize that. What type of logs you want to view on the home page. So CloudWatch logs can use the filter expressions. For example, a specific IP inside the log. If you want to looking for some specific IP inside the complete log file, you can search for it. So search option will be there. Or count the occurrences of error in the logs. You want to count the occurrences ke 5 बार है, 10 बार है, how many times the error is being there. So you can count that as well. So then we'll have the metric filters can be used to trigger the CloudWatch alarms. You can obviously CloudWatch alarms are going to be triggered. There are metrics for that. And insight can be used for the query logs and query to the CloudWatch dashboards. So this is the logs S3 export. So there are few important one. Let's try to understand. CloudWatch logs can be stored in the Amazon S3 bucket. So this is the only slide that is telling you whatever CloudWatch, because of course there's a data that is going to be generated at the CloudWatch level. So that can be backed up with the Amazon S3 bucket. So log data can take up to 12 hours to become available for export. So once you send the data from CloudWatch to Amazon S3 bucket, so it will take at least 12 hours for the export. The API called is create export task. With this, you can export it. Not real-time data or real-time, use the log subscription instead. So if you want to have the real-time one, you need to use a log subscription. Further subscription, what is this log subscription? So subscription instead, now subscription is something which is mentioned on this slide. So CloudWatch log, so first of all it will go to the subscription model. It can be sent to the different another services like Lambda function, which can either be the custom Lambda function or Lambda function, which can be either the managed by the AWS. So cloud subscription filter can send the data anywhere, or it can send the data to the Firehouse, Kinesis data Firehouse, and this is the real-time data that is being stored in S3 bucket or ES. Okay, so this is how it is going to leave this. Okay, so let's try to execute this one, CloudWatch. Let's try to see the CloudWatch logs. In CloudWatch, you'll have the logs. So under the logs group, so you can see the log groups. Okay, so there are few log groups that are already created, retentions never going to expire, or 1 month. Matrix filter is nothing, and subscription is also nothing. So you'll have the AWS Lambda, demo Lambda, ECS, IGN, NX, demo, hello. So this is also created by me. RDSOS, metrics. So these are a few of the existing one. The cloud logs are being generated along with this particular applications. So you can see the log groups, and you can see the lot of log groups that are present, and some of them are going to expire and some of them are never going to expire. So you can click on any of it. So let's suppose I click on this. Okay, and once you click on any of this, you'll find the information related to it. Log group name, retention type is 1 month, creation time is 15 days ago, storage type, ARN number. Okay, the log stream is also present, so you can look onto the metric filter. Okay, no metric filter is there, so log stream is present, so you can view the log stream. And once you click on any of the log stream, beta, it will retake you to the different page. So let's suppose this is a log stream. If I click on this log stream, open in a new tab, and you'll watch the logs and this. So see, these are the logs that are present. Engine, Aurora, instance ID, database ID, instance ID is given. Okay, you can view like this. Okay, this is going to read and write. This is a log files, task is present. Okay, and you can have the another one in general. Now if you want to select any of this value present in here, so it's difficult to look for the values present in this log files. So what basically you can do, let me scroll all the way up. So you can filter events, so you can create the filter events. So in this filter events, you can search for any. Let's suppose if I type HTTP, no event found. So or if I found the, you can write anything that you want to search. If not this, search for any other versions. So when I type versions, but anything related to this particular filter, so you'll get this. The value, the version is present in this as well. So version is present in this, and similarly it will be present in this one. Suppose if you get the any of the keyword that you are going to look for, you can specify in this, and you can create a filter as per your own requirement. Okay, so this is one point. And the next thing is you can create your own filters. So you don't have any metric filter right now. So if I'll go to this particular one, or let me go to this. So under this metric filter, you don't have any such metric filter, so you can create a metric filter, and under this filter you can specify the name, and if I'll specify like version, I have specified. Okay, custom log data, from where you want to check the test log pattern. Okay, and everything is present. So pick up the custom log data. इसमें से you can pick up anyone. So either from the first or the second, and pick the first one and click on next. Okay, so you can click on the namespace, create a filter name. Then let's try to create the uh, demo metric. I'm just randomly creating. I don't know which this CloudWatch log group. What is this log group? I'm just trying to create one filter and can show you how you can create the custom filters. Filter namespace. The same way you can do, create a new metric name, enter the metric name. So I'll give the demo metric filter, and let's create the metric value. Metric value, this means metric value is the value published to the metric name when the filter pattern. So I want to match it to the one value. Default optional, unit is optional. So let's create this one. Okay. So you see metric filter, demo filter has been created. So I'll go to the metric and metric filters. This is done. So we'll have this. You will have the graph metric. So nothing is there. You can go to the options line, what type of filtering you want to have, or you can have the source. So view is the time series tagged as the false value. So dashboard or the image API, you can get this. So, so we have created a demo filter as well. Okay. So next thing is CloudWatch logs for EC2. Okay. So, but I will discuss the CloudWatch logs for the EC2 uh, in a while. Okay. So take a 5 minutes break and then come back. Then we'll discuss the next part. Okay. Okay, so madam, let's continue. Uh, is my voice audible? Am I audible? Madam, am I audible? Is my screen visible? Please try to reply. Yes, no. Am I audible to you? But are you guys sleeping? Are you present? No answer? This is not done. Ajit, but are you present or absent? Ajit Kumar Singh, no response. Ayush,
Yes, sir.
Ayush, stay present.
Hello. Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Not able to hear you. Chaitanya, are you present? But attend to your own call, Chaitanya. If you are not going to say anything, but you will not get the attendance for today. Simply joining the session, not participating, this is not done yet. Chaitanya, stay present or absent. No answer. Ishika, no answer. Kranti, again no answer. Pravanshu,
Present, sir.
okay. Puneet, Ritu, Saurabh,
Present, sir.
Sham Sundar. Okay.
Yes, sir, I am here.
Okay. So, better let's continue with our topic. We are go and by the way, I have enabled this cloud shell that was not working. I have opened in the region North Virginia, and you will find out even though we have few of the regions that are disabled and few of the regions are enabled for this cloud shell. That means this is not a globally available, it is just available in few of the regions. I have tried to assess it using the US East one. Okay, so I have moved on to the actions, and here you can delete the AWS Cloud Shell home directly. I have deleted the home directory, then I have restarted the Cloud Shell from here, and I'm able to work this on this one because I need to have the next topic that will be starting is CloudWatch alarm. How the alarms are going to trigger if anything is going to be wrong, how these alarms are going to be triggered, that is what we are going to study in this topic. So alarms are used to trigger the notification for any metric. So if anything is going to be wrong, you want to trigger any notification. So in that case, we use the CloudWatch alarms. So various options, sampling, percentage, minimum, percentage maximum, or anything. So on various parameters, you can trigger these alarms. Alarm states can be okay, alarm state can be insufficient data, or alarm state can be triggered. So there can be three states. Either the alarm will be okay, either you will be having insufficient data to trigger an alarm, or it will be the alarm triggered. So there are three cases for this. So period says the length of the time in seconds to evaluate the metric. So that is what the periods is. High resolution custom metrics are going to range between 10 seconds to 60 seconds. Very basic one. The cloud matrix alarm targets. So where this CloudWatch alarms are going to be targeted, either you can invoke this alarms on EC2 instances, you want to increase the instance or you want to decrease the instance when the alarm is triggered, or you want to scale up the group or you want to scale down the EC2 auto scaling group based upon which the alarm is triggered, or you want to use the Amazon SNS, stands for the simple messaging service. Okay, SNS is the simple messaging notification service, sorry, simple notification service. So if the CloudWatch alarm is triggered, you want to send a notification either through mail or message or anything, any notification you want to trigger. So that means whenever the CloudWatch's alarm is going to be triggered, either you can use it along with the EC2 instance, you can use with the auto scaling group, you can use with the Amazon SNS messaging service. So these are the things that you can do. Either you can, and what actually the actions you can perform, you can stop, you can terminate, you can reboot, you can recover an EC2 instance. These are the actions you can perform. You can trigger the auto scaling action or send notification, from which you can do pretty much anything. So this is what the actions you can perform using the CloudWatch alarm. The next one is EC2 instance recovery. Okay, instance recovery means, let's suppose your instance is working more than 70% of its capacity. So you want to recover that instance. So status, if it is instance status is check EC2 virtual machine system check the underlying hardware. So if this is the M5 type EC2 instance is there, CloudWatch alarm is going to monitor it, and if the status check is going to be failed, alert is going to be issued to the SNS topic, and that is going to notify all other applications or other services. The action needs to be taken. So instant recovery, if it is going to check this, and if it is successfully able to change the system, then it is okay. Otherwise, in the recovery, same private, public, elastic, IP, metadata, placement groups, all these things are going to be involved. Again, if you want to make any changes to the EC2 instance. And coming on to the CloudWatch events, event pattern intercept event from the AWS services, that is the sources. Example, EC2 instance start, code built is failure. First of all, successfully EC2 is going to start, but the code building is a failure. S3 trusted advisor. In that case, you can interrupt or intercept any of the API which will use the cloud trail integration in order to trigger the CloudWatch alarm. So you can schedule or con example create an event after every force, or you can use the JSON documents. Okay, so read this once before we move on to the creation of the CloudWatch alarm. Try to read this slide. Okay, so let's try to create the CloudWatch alarm on our EC2 instance and see how it is going to behave. So okay, so let's move to the CloudWatch. Okay, so this is a home screen, and let's go to the alarms. In alarms, all alarms and the billing one. Okay, so I'll click on the all the alarms. So right now, no alarms are present in here. Okay, so no alarms are present here. So what I need to do is I need to create an alarm. So, but for that, before I can create an alarm, I need to move to the EC2 instance. I need to create an EC2 instance first. So let me open it in the new tab. So no instances are running. I'll go to the instance, launch an instance. A2 micro, everything is okay. Key pair, let it be demo key pair. Everything is okay. Let's click on the launch instance. Okay. This is pending. Let it create. Well, this is in a creation phase. Let's move on to the CloudWatch, and I am going to create an alarm in CloudWatch. I'll create an alarm. Now, once you create an alarm, you need to specify the metric. So click on metric. Here, you need to find out in the metric, you'll have the EC2 instance. Or all metric you can go, and let's see if it is created. Yes, this is created, up and running fine. I'll copy this instance ID. I'll paste it in the CloudWatch. I'll paste it. Let's see if it can detect. As of now, no, this is not detecting. So let's wait for a while. It may take few minutes to reciprocate the change. So status check is initializing. Let it complete. I should be able to get it there. Give me a second. Okay, so let me share the screen once again. Okay, so this is my metric and instance I have created already. Let's see if it is. Both the checks are passed. Let's copy the instance from here. Let's move to the CloudWatch metrics, and inside the matrices that are available, it should be able to detect my instance. And I will click on the enter. Yes, this time you will see instance. So this is pre-instance matrix. Under this one of the instance, it has automatically detected. Okay, so I'm going to enter here. Let's click on the instance one. So we don't have sufficient matrices here. Okay, so let's check this matrix. So we have already existing alarm in Mumbai region. So let's create another alarm. Select metric. So it is creating a problem because the matrix is created in US East 1C, and I am trying to insert it in a Mumbai. I need to create another instance. But I will try to execute in the next class. So internet is not working. So we'll see in the next class. And let me take the attendance first. Sort of bit of tomorrow again we'll be having one last final class, and we'll try to execute the this remaining topic. And because we had not attended one or two classes, so we'll try to have the another class tomorrow. And this particular link with which you have joined for the entire month, this will not be functional tomorrow. I'll be dropping a new link for the tomorrow session, and the class will be conducted from 6 to 8 p.m. only. Okay, so we'll wrap up our session here itself, and the rest of the topic we'll do in the next class. I have taken the attendance, so you can leave the session. Thank you for joining.